My boss's husband forged a complaint to get me fired from my job at the Oakdale airport. I'd been working as a fuel technician for 5 years, and I took pride in my work. I knew every plane that came in, every pilot's name, and every quirk of the aircraft. But none of that mattered when Reginald Thornton, a self-proclaimed tech mogul, landed his luxurious jet on our runway. He burst out of the plane, barking orders at our ground crew, and shoving past our safety coordinator, Rachel. I was caught off guard as he stormed over to me, slamming his credit card on the counter. "Fill it up now," he yelled. "I don't have time for your little procedures." I tried to explain that we had to follow protocol, but he cut me off. I didn't ask for a speech, just pumped the gas and shut up. His condescending tone made my blood boil, but I bit my tongue. I dealt with difficult passengers before, but there was something about Reginald that made my skin crawl. As I began to fuel his plane, he spotted our baggage cart and kicked it, sending luggage flying in all directions. "Why is this junk blocking my view? Move it," he bellowed. Our manager, Karen, walked over to introduce herself, but Reginald cut her off mid-sentence. "I don't talk to the help. Get me whoever's actually in charge here." Karen stood her ground, her voice steady. "Sir, I am in charge. I'm the airport manager." Reginald sneered at her, yanking out his phone to record their exchange. "This is what incompetence looks like, folks," he said, his voice dripping with disdain. "Small-town nobodies who think they matter." I watched in disgust as Reginald continued to berate Karen, his behavior becoming more and more erratic. He screamed at one of our mechanics, telling him to stop working because he was making too much noise. The mechanic, a quiet guy named Alex, apologized and moved his tools to a different location. But Reginald wasn't satisfied. He spotted our weather station and marched over, criticizing our equipment and demanding to know when he could leave. Our meteorologist, Emily, tried to explain the systems to him, but he cut her off, his patience wearing thin. What Reginald didn't know was that Karen's brother, Jack, happened to be a high-ranking official at the FAA. Karen kept her cool, but I could see the fire in her eyes. "Of course, sir, we'll take care of everything," she said, her voice sweet as honey. Reginald demanded that his plane be moved to the front of the refueling line, cutting ahead of 3 other aircraft. The other pilots were not happy, but Reginald didn't care. "My time is more valuable," he sneered. As the situation escalated, I couldn't help but think about the forged complaint that had been filed against me. It was a petty move, and I knew I had to clear my name. But for now, I had to focus on dealing with Reginald. Karen, however, had other plans. She smiled sweetly at Reginald, her eyes glinting with a hint of mischief. "Sir, I think we can accommodate your request," she said. "But first, let me just check with my brother to make sure it's okay." Reginald's face turned red with rage as Karen pulled out her phone and dialed a number. I watched in amazement as she spoke to her brother, her voice low and urgent. A few minutes later, a team of FAA officials arrived, surrounded by police officers. Reginald's face turned white as he realized he was in trouble. It turned out that his plane had been flagged for several safety violations, and he was not allowed to take off until they were fixed. As the officials took Reginald away, Karen turned to me and smiled. "You're a good employee," she said. "And I'm sorry about the forged complaint. My brother is going to help us get to the bottom of it." I smiled back, feeling a sense of relief wash over me. Sometimes karma can be a beautiful thing. And as for Reginald, he learned a valuable lesson that day. You can't always buy your way out of trouble, and sometimes it's the small-town nobodies who hold the most power. In the end, Reginald's plane was grounded for several weeks, and he was forced to pay a hefty fine for his safety violations. And as for me, I was cleared of all wrongdoing, and I continued to work at the Oakdale airport, proud of the job I did and the people I worked with. The experience had taught me that sometimes, it's the people who seem the most powerful who are actually the most vulnerable, and that karma can be a powerful thing.